Okay. Testing the mic. Sweet. Today we are going through the lyrical breakdown of the 5th song in the Pulled Apart album, which is Plain Hearts, which is one of my personal favorites, actually. There's a lot of elements of this song that relate to casinos, gambling, and stuff like that, and the almost connection between how a relationship can be a risk and taking your chances on that. So the song Plain Hearts itself is a play on words in the sense that the game like hearts, like poker. So yeah, we can just get into it, I think. Should I full screen it? Yeah, I'll full screen it. Pull up the lyrics.
Addicted to a stranger again. I don't recognize the one laying in my bed. The person I planned my dreams with only exists inside my head. Lost it all in an attempt to win, cause all along your heart was rigged. Flabbergasted by the time I wasted chasing the wind. Must applaud you for your trick, cause you made a joker from a king.
Okay. So, addicted to a stranger again. Don't recognize the one laying in my bed. The person I planned my dreams with only exists inside my head. And then the next line reference, lost it all in an attempt to win, because all along your heart was rigged. So that's reference to like a slot machine. Flabbergasted by the time I wasted chasing the wind. The hell does that word even mean? I can't, well, it means like baffled, but why did I use that word? I don't know why. Probably just for the syllables. Yeah, I don't think there's any other connections. Yeah, cool.
Attempt to win, cause all along your heart was rigged. Flabbergasted by the time I wasted chasing the wind. Must applaud you for your trick, cause you
made a joker from a king. There's also references to like magic, like cards and stuff. So must applaud you for your trick because you made a joker from a king, as in like the cards. In a deck of cards, you have a joker and a king. Love's not enough for you, it's never been.
Made a joker from a king. Love's not enough for you, it's never been. Luxury and adrenaline we used to build the vacant space from all these empty promises. Felt endured but not accepted. You had me paying for your presence, under pressure to provide with whatever you requested, till cheap thrills became expensive. I pointed out you'd get defensive, acting like I owed you for my imperfections. With that state of mind, it's no surprise for us failure was destined. So I started counseling.
So not a lot of wordplay in that, but definitely describes the situation. Not to get too deep into that, but the expectations in a relationship, especially I think being a man, and your expectations to provide when you're not always seeing the profit or, reward of your provision.
Took steps to grow in discipline, in patience, communication. Anything I thought could help fix this love that became tainted, but you chose to stay complacent, hanging out with guys late nights, getting wasted. I noticed your wardrobe changing, but I was in no position to make accusations, cause I blindsided you too. At this point knew we were doomed, but I didn't stop trying. You gave up on all I gave for you. The bucket list we left unchecked now holds the weight of my regrets. Despite the pain it brings, I'm convinced all hope's lost if I forget.
So, I think this one's really well written, even if there's not a lot of wordplay in this one. I think a lot of the lines are really powerful. The bucket list we left unchecked now holds the weight of my regrets. And despite the pain it brings, I'm convinced that all hope is lost if I forget. So to just forget about it and move on, it doesn't feel like a better solution. It feels like you want to, you start something, you want to see it through. So either way, it feels like you're at a loss.
I forget, They say that love is blind, but I guess so was I. Your poker face comprised of puppy eyes was my kryptonite.
They say that love is blind, I guess so was I. Your poker face comprised of puppy eyes was my kryptonite. So the puppy eyes to get what you want, essentially, and the fact that I was blind to the manipulation and just the saying of love is blind.
I said till death do us part, then watched us fall apart. I never would have thought you'd be so good at playing hearts.
It's trippy. I'm gonna get hypnotized looking at this.
I once was your Romeo, who knew you'd be my cause of death. The hand that pulled you from the depths you folded on.
So now it starts to pick up a lot. So the entendres and stuff. I once was your Romeo, who knew you'd be my cause of death. And the story of Romeo and Juliet, and how, well, they both end up dead, essentially, in my opinion, from their lack of patience and obsession with the other and connecting all your value to somebody else. Now, the hand that pulled you from the depths, you folded on like a serviette. So the hand, when you're playing poker, the cards you have, the hand that pulled you from the depths, you folded on like a serviette. Serviette is just basically a napkin that you could also, that you fold and put in your lap or whatever.
Like a serviette, I'm shuffling through the table's contents while you spin off to the next. The time I spent you took for granted, use me like a blank check.
I'm shuffling through the table's contents while you spin off to the next, implying, you spinning of a slot machine or of the roulette table. The time that I spent, you took for granted and used me like a blank check, as if it was taking no toll on me, just that you could just write off everything you wanted.
With our senses lost in common, I was rushing to roulette, attempt to empty my chambers without leaving behind them.
Okay, dark line here. So with our senses lost in common, so I like the way I phrase that. It's like the loss of common sense, and that's something we have in common, is we've both lost our sense of common sense. Yeah. I was rushing to roulette. The connection there as into fleeing to like a different game, but also Russian roulette. Attempt to empty my chambers like of a magnum without leaving behind a mess.
The devastation you dealt nearly doubled and passed to the next. I believe in second chances, but I'm no longer looking back.
So the devastation you dealt, like a dealer, nearly doubled and passed to the next. I believe in second chances, but I'm no longer looking back. Yeah.
And I refuse to follow suit. I lost myself, but now I'm found. Was blind, but then I changed my view.
I refuse to follow suit, as in I'm not gonna go along with what's happening here, but also, like a card has a suit.
Just had to peek around the curve to see we were meant to be. You played me like a VLT. I should have known from the start that my ticket would expire eventually.
And VLT, the slot machines, yeah. Should have known from the start my ticket would expire eventually.
You changed my view on love. You raised me up to watch me drop. You burned me, hooked me to the pot. I wish I would have called your bluff.
Changed my view on love. You raised me up to watch me drop, as in you can raise again in poker. Burned me, hooked me to the pot. You also burn cards in poker. Hooked me to the pot, as in that's the connection between weed. That was my first interaction with weed. And also hooked me to the pot is what it's called when your chips are in. That's the pot. Wish I would have called your bluff. So yeah, a lot of poker connections here.
Wish we were counting stars, but you were counting cards. I never would have thought you'd be so good at playing hearts.
Wish we were counting stars, but you were counting cards. I never would have thought you'd be so good at playing hearts. So counting cards is considered cheating, basically in all casinos and whatnot. Yeah. Oh, maybe gassed chasing the wind. Flabbergasted, and yeah. Presence, paying for your presence.
Under pressure to provide whatever you requested, till cheap thrills became expensive. I'd pointed out you'd get defensive, acting like I owed you for my imperfections. With that state of mind, it's no surprise for us failure was destined.